what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. We've got nothing better to do. Podcast where we talk about movies, TV shows, and video games because, well, we've got nothing better to do. I'm your host, Nathaniel, and this week I am joined by Parker and Jeremy. And welcome back. It's first episode in 2021. Congratulations, you made it. We're no longer in 2020. You survived. Good job. Proud of you. But doesn't mean we're done with 2020, because today we're going to be reminiscing. I don't know if that's the right word. I mean, I enjoyed 2020. It wasn't the worst thing ever. I would say, honestly, I did more in 2020 than I have in other years. Feel like I got a lot accomplished last year. But we're going to be talking about some of our favorite things from 2020 and maybe some of our not so favorite things. Who knows? We'll see. We're behind on news, but I didn't really care enough to check too much. So we'll just kind of go with the stuff we have. I do still have this cough. Apparently it might be allergies, which would suck because I haven't had allergies my entire life, and then randomly I just happen to get them. But what's weird is because I had it really bad before. I took a trip back to Idaho to hang out with these jokers. But while I was there, I honestly didn't have it that much. Like, I wasn't coughing that much.
You also had cough drops.
I do here too. They're sitting on my mini fridge. Soon as I landed, I say that now I'm coughing, but as soon as I landed in California, I started coughing again, and I was just like, oh no. So honestly, it might be like just the air here, because Idaho, it's very clean, crisp air. But here, even though I don't live I live next to the beach, and then the air is a lot cleaner, because of the water. I don't know. Speaking of water, only the best. Natural artisan water. Fiji water. Fiji, if you want to sponsor us, you're more than welcome to. I love Fiji water. My favorite bottled water. My mini fridge is full of it. I can't prove it. But what did you say, Jeremy?
How much is a bottle of Fiji water?
I don't know. I bought like a 6-pack of, these are the 1 liter bottles. And that was like $12. This is probably the most Orange County like bougiest thing I've ever done in my life, which is saying a lot considering what I did. But I had Fiji water delivered to my house by Whole Foods. And that's probably the
that is
most Orange County thing I've ever done. And I'm kind of like, might do it again. Might do it a lot, honestly. But enough of that weird tangent. Let's go into the news. So starting with movie news, a lot of this came out today. Or like in the past 2 days. Deadpool 3, Kevin Feige has confirmed it is happening. It will be in the MCU, and it will be rated R. So keeping with the Deadpool tradition, I guess. I think they said that stuff like this, which doesn't necessarily match the Disney family ideal, will be released under Fox. So I think Deadpool will technically be a Fox movie, but still be MCU. So that's cool, because now he can make all the MCU jokes, and he can make jokes about how Disney owns Fox and blah, blah, blah. And he can make fun of how Iron Man is dead.
I hope so.
If Spider-Man's in that movie, he's just like, hey, Iron Man's dead. Just watch Tom Holland cry for a minute. That'd That'd be a good joke, actually. That'd be a very funny joke.
People would like that.
Yeah, well, people are happy because Deadpool's in the MCU now, and they're gonna keep him R-rated, so it's be just as raunchy as before. In other news, so Netflix they said that they're going to release a new movie every week this year, which is crazy. But they've got like people like Gal Gadot, Ryan Reynolds, Idris Elba, Jonathan Majors, Zack Snyder's doing stuff, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ariana Grande, Timothée Chalamet, Kid Cudi. That's interesting. Meryl Streep. They got a lot of big names doing a lot of big movies, and they're releasing a new movie every year. That's crazy.
Every year.
Or not every year. A new movie every year. Wow. No, a new movie every week this year, which is
That's a lot of movies.
insane.
It's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of bad ones. Hopefully some good ones.
Largely consistent. Okay, so blah blah blah. Largely consistent of original productions as well as some splashy acquisitions. The slate has 71 titles across genres, so there'll be more than 52. From musicals to action, romantic comedies, family animation. This is coming from Variety. Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if any of them will be good. I think I've watched three Netflix original movies. The Irishman. There's one with Kevin Costner about Bonnie and Clyde. The name is escaping me right now. That one was pretty good. Irishman, and Project Power, which was the like superhero pill one with Jamie Foxx and Jogo Lev. I said Jogo Lev the other. I was watching Treasure Planet with my family, and I said Jogo Lev because he plays the Jim Hawkins, the kid. And it took my sister and my brother-in-law a minute. They're like, "Who's Jogo Lev?" And I was like, "Joseph Gordon-Levitt." And they're like, "Don't call him that." They did not like the name Jogo Lev. But anyways, Project Power. I like that. It was fun.
I think it would have been better as a TV show, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, I like the concept. It was like, I enjoyed it. I didn't not like it. So of the 3 original Netflix movies I've watched, I enjoyed 2 of them. So we'll see. We'll see if anything catches our eye. But that is crazy that they're doing that. That just shows you how big of a company Netflix is and how much money they have to throw around.
Do have money.
I forgot to look up the actual times for these. The next bit of news is Kevin Feige released the release dates and run times of a lot of Marvel shows. And let's see. Here we go. So let's see. Where does he say it? So WandaVision is going to have 6 hour. Wait, what? No. This is different. This is so. I saw like a graphic earlier that just had all the times that he said. Sorry, bear with me. I think Moon Knight was like 6 40-minute episodes. WandaVision is going to be, the first 3 episodes are 30 minutes. So on the shorter side. Oh, fun fact: Parker figured something out today that deals with the Olsen siblings. What did you figure out today,
Oh,
Parker?
yeah, I didn't know. The Olsen twins that we know nowadays are the same Olsen twins from the '90s that I grew up with.
Yeah, Mary Kate and Ashley,
Yeah.
and that Elizabeth Olsen is their younger sister.
Well, I knew that. I just didn't know Mary Kate and Ashley were the Olsen twins.
Yeah, they're like
I
what?
mean,
They're
I
like
I knew them as the Olsen
they're
twins.
almost 40 now, aren't they? They're like 37 or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kevin Feige said we're looking at developing Disney Plus shows as either 6-hour episodes or 10 half-hour episodes. She-Hulk, for instance, is being developed as 10 30-minute episodes. Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is being developed as 6 40 to 50-minute episodes. Moon Knight will also fall into the latter bracket of a smaller batch of 6 longer episodes. WandaVision's set to premiere, dropping two episodes at once for the premiere. So we'll get 2 out of the 9 episodes in 3 days. Wow. Each will be around 30 minutes. So yeah, so it looks like some of them will be hour-long episodes, some of them will be 30 minutes. So kind of a mix of what Mando did, but the shows won't do that. It'll be separate. It'll either be hour-long episodes or 30-minute episodes. That's cool. I'm excited for WandaVision. I keep forgetting that comes out this week, and we're getting 2 episodes, which is cool.
Comes out this week?
Yeah, Friday, 2 episodes.
Cool.
Cool. All right. And then just one bit of video game news. It's a trailer for the new expansion to Super Mario 3D World, called Bowser's Fury. So it's getting re-released on Switch, which comes out in December of this year. But they announced this game in April of 2020. It just seems like a long time for a port with a new area. Granted, the new area is big, but 2 years of development time, that seems a bit much. I don't know, maybe
unlike Nintendo. Nintendo usually says, "Hey, we're releasing a game. It comes out in 12 hours."
Yeah, they've been doing that a lot recently, which is cool. It's like this game comes out in 3 months. All right, cool. But yeah, the trailer looks, honestly, it looks good, because I've played Super Mario 3D World. It's a fun game. I played on the Wii U, but playing it once, I was satisfied with it. I don't know if I wanted to buy it again. It is really fun to play with people, but I don't know if I have people to play it with. I have maybe one person that would want to play with me, and they played it with me the first time. But this new area, it looked heavily inspired by Super Mario Odyssey. It's an open world 3D environment, and you're essentially collecting moons, but they're cat coins, because this is the game with Cat Mario. You're going around, but then it's called Bowser's Fury is this new area. And in the background, you can see this big, giant black Bowser shell with red spikes growing in the background. And in the trailer, it eventually shoots out, and it's literally just Ganondorf Bowser. He's all black, and he has flaming red hair like Ganondorf. He looks cool, but it's literally Ganondorf Bowser. He looks super dope. His eyes are all white, and his hair is bright red, looks like flames, and then there's fire coming out of his mouth. It looks dope, honestly. But this trailer, I was like, maybe I do want to get this game. But then I saw that it comes out in December, and I'm like, that's so far away. Release it in the spring when nothing else is coming out or something like that. I don't know. But Ganon Bowser looks dope. And obviously, it's gameplay like Super Mario Odyssey, which was a very fun game. So I'd be down to something similar. But, so we see Ganon Bowser. But then Mario gets like this super cat bell. And he transforms. And I put in a group chat earlier. I was like, the new Mario game is essentially a kaiju battle, because when Mario gets the new like giant super cat bell, he turns into, literally, it's Super Saiyan Cat Mario. Like, it's Cat Mario, but he has Super Saiyan hair. Like, he's just Super Saiyan. So it's just a kaiju battle, like your giant Super Saiyan Cat Mario versus Ganondorf Giga Bowser, which is not a sentence I ever thought I would say, but I am fully, I'm down for it. It looks pretty sick, not gonna lie. I wonder if it has online co-op, because then you guys could get it and we could play it, because it's fun. By your silence, I'm going to assume that you also really want to get it and that we would play it online.
It definitely sounds like my kind of game.
It is a very fun game to play like co-op, because it's like, it's not like New Super Mario Brothers where it's like just 2D scrolling levels. It's like 3D Mario, like 3D Mario levels and environments, and the level design is like great. It's very fun, very varied. It's actually a very fun game, but it's not that fun to play by yourself. Once again, we're not sponsored by Fiji, but Fiji, if you want to sponsor us. My dad was born in Fiji, so you know.
What?
Yep, he's born in Fiji. Moved to America when he was 18. So yeah, that's it for news really this week. I'm kind of tired of hearing myself talk, so I'm gonna let the guys talk for a little bit. But we're talking about our favorite things from 2020. Kinda. So
Wasn't much.
the way that we've done this in the past is we pick our top 5 of games, movies, and TV shows, but not a lot of stuff came out in terms of, well, I mean, stuff came out, but not a lot of good stuff came out last year. So our lists are a little smaller. And we also do like our favorite stuff that we played or watched that didn't come out last year, that we played or watched for the first time that year. But there wasn't a lot that we did for that either. So it'll just be our favorite things that we played or watched that did not come out in 2020 that we may have played or watched before. So
Don't worry, you're confused. So are we.
Yes. I mean, we'll get to it. Okay, so let's talk about games. So because we didn't play a lot of new games this year, we're also counting DLC and expansions as new games. So
Can add something else to my list then.
like Dying Light would count as a DLC or expansion for Destiny 2. But yeah, we'll go around and we'll start with our number 5 pick.
Beyond Light.
Beyond Light.
What did I say?
I
Dying Light. That's
I
a
was so
different-
confused by what you were talking
That's a different
about.
game. Yeah, not Dying Light. Beyond Light for Destiny 2. But yeah, so we'll start with our 5th picks. I will go first. My 5th favorite game that came out in 2020 was Animal Crossing. I had never played an Animal Crossing game before. It's my first one, and I really enjoyed it. I have since stopped playing, but I did put a lot of time into it for the like 3 or 4 months that I was playing it. I played it a lot. Designed like a lot of clothing, was grinding super hard to get to my island the way I wanted it to. But then like the point at which I got the tools to like actually start shaping my island was right about when I started to burn out. And it was like, I'm burning out, but now I have to put in even more time and work into this. And I'm like, Like, I bet if I turned it on, my villagers would be like, "Oh my gosh, where have you been?" There's probably weeds everywhere on my island. It's probably doesn't look great, but I did have a lot of fun, and my niece really loved watching me. When it came out, I was still living with my sisters. My niece really loved watching me play it, so that was fun, just getting to play it with her. But yeah, my first Animal Crossing game, I did really like it a lot. If whenever the next Animal Crossing comes out, I know it's the style of game, but I would really like, I don't know, maybe if they just kind of streamlined the process so it goes by a little quicker. Because I played just like a ton, and then when I got to the point where I could do the stuff I wanted to do, I was like just done with the game. But I don't know, maybe it's just not for me. But the time I did spend with it, I did have a lot of fun. So that was my number 5 game of 2020 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Jeremy, what was your number 5 game?
I don't even know if I have 5.
What was? How many do you have? We'll come back around to you.
I don't have 5 either.
How many do you have?
4.
How many do you have,
Oh,
Jeremy?
wait. Well, we have, if you're including DLC, I have 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
Give me your number 5.
4th one was my DLC.
I guess the new GTA DLC.
Oh, the big map update?
Yeah.
Why
I
is
don't
that
know
your
if
number
I can
5?
include that. I've played it for like 2 hours.
Me too, but I just needed 5.
All right.
Okay, that can be my number 5 too.
What was your experience with it?
I mean, it was cool. We haven't really.
We haven't really.
What did they
done a
add?
whole
It's
lot.
like a new map, and they
They added
updated the map.
They added a new island.
Okay.
That's about
You
it.
can also buy a
And you can
giant
go
submarine.
underwater now too, right?
Yeah, they bought a huge submarine. You could always go underwater.
Oh. That's cool.
Called swimming, Nathaniel.
Well, I meant like underwater vehicles.
They had a submarine with the release of the game.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. All right, Parker, what's your number 5 then?
Mine will be GTA 5 Cayo Perico Heist.
At least you got the name.
Yeah, it was fun. I ran around an island on foot for many hours looking for cocaine.
Spamming the X button.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah, the X button on my
That's
keyboard.
the stupidest thing. Like the dumbest sprint button in a video game I've ever played.
It's not like it on keyboard. On keyboard, you just hold shift.
It's so stupid. I don't understand why they do it. But why? It's so hard to play GTA with a keyboard. Like you have to play with a controller.
It is really hard. Controller. I just don't have mine right now.
Oh, well, there you go. All right. I guess I'll go next then. So my number 4 game might be a shocker to some people, but my number 4 game is Cyberpunk 2077. What? It's not his number 1. I guess a lot of people also had
It's
bad
not-
experiences with it
It's not that
last
good.
year.
So
Put that in the thumbnail.
I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it. The gameplay is really fun. The story, a lot of it is interesting, but it can be pretty samey. I don't know how many hours I've put into it, maybe like 15. Yeah, the story can feel kind of samey. I really don't have any like want to do side quests. A lot of them just don't seem that interesting. But when you're like in like the actual game, like doing missions and like the combat and stuff is actually pretty fun. But honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to finish it. I wonder if I could still get a refund because I might.
oh, maybe actually.
And there's also like just stuff in it that I'm just
Wait.
like, I don't.
So there's a game on your top 4 that you're wanting to get a refund for.
Well, I mean, like I really enjoyed it, but like I mean, there's also stuff in it that I'm not like super like, you know, I wish it wasn't in the game. Some inappropriate stuff. So I'm just like, I don't really want to keep seeing all that stuff. I mean, some of it's like you can look past it and all that, but there's a lot of like just it's very
Nudity.
yeah, that's part of it. But yeah, there's just stuff in it I don't want to mess with. So I mean, but the game itself is very fun, and honestly, I would probably play more if it wasn't for that. But yeah, it's my number 4 pick. I did have a lot of fun with it. And it's like cool. You can customize your character. I really want to get the bike from Akira. Cause I just like unlocked it. I just need enough money for it and stuff. But yeah, my number 4 pick, kind of a weird pick. But my number 4 pick was Cyberpunk 2077. What about you, Jeremy? What's your number 4?
I'll go with the new Paper Mario.
What was it called? Origami King.
Origami King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fun. I just one of those things where like as soon as I got it, I played it for first day, played it for a long time, and just didn't get back to it, and just there's been busy and other stuff, so I haven't picked it back up enough to finish the game. But when I did play it, it was really fun.
Cool. What about you, Parker? What was your number 4?
My number 4 is Shadow of War. Didn't come out in 2020, but I got it.
That's a different category.
What?
That's another category we're doing.
Oh, they're 2 different categories?
Yeah.
Well, I definitely don't.
What other games did you play in 2020?
Those are the only all 4 games I have on this list are the
What
only
about
4
Bridge
new
Builder?
games. That's mine.
Is that your number 1?
This is number 1.
What about Crown Tundra? Is not your number 1?
No. You know how many hours I have in Bridge Builder?
Oh. Okay, well, we'll come back to you then when we get to number 2. Okay, number 3. My number 3 game of the year is another game that I haven't quite finished, but I want to go back to it, especially because my roommates are playing it right now. Ghost of Tsushima. Game 1 looks so good. Even on a base PS4, this game looks so good. I've spent hours in the photo mode on this game. But aside from that, I really like the combat is very fluid. It gets kind of samey. It's very like rock paper scissors. Like this guy's got a spear, got to switch to the spear stance. This guy's got a big shield, got to switch to the shield stance. Like that, it's samey, but it's so fluid and fun still. You're just like flipping and dipping around and stuff, and then you get like the sub weapons and all these different skills and stuff. It's very fun. You can almost kind of combo in the combat, which is not something in action games you get that, but like it's just very fluid. Very polished, I guess is a good way of putting it. I like the story. It's an open world game that like it's very similar to how like Breath of the Wild was for me, where it's like, okay, I want to go to this thing on the map, but like every little thing catches your attention, and then you get lost in doing all these little things, and you just play for hours and just like lose track of time. It's very fun. It wasn't as like to the extent that Breath of the Wild did it for me, but it's very similar in like how it made me feel. And I played that game for long periods of time. I'm about like a third of the way through the game, but yeah, that it was very, very fun. I'm looking forward to going back to it, and like just collecting all the different armor and stuff, and playing Fashion Souls, and making my samurai look really cool. But so yeah, my number 3 game of the year was Ghost of Tsushima. Also, the music in this game, holy frick! I would like put on the photo mode and get this super cool shot, and there's this one. It's like Lady Masako's theme. Oh, so good, so good. Sugoi, as the people in Ghost of Tsushima would say. It's a little bilingual nugget for you there. Go look that up on Google. See what it means. If you don't know. Jeremy, what's your number 3 game? 2020.
My number 3 is kind of not really a cop out, but it's not really new Apex Legends. Apex Legends came out last year, but the kind of DLCs come out where they introduce new legends and it's been like new maps and stuff. So maybe that's my number 3 because I played it a good amount and I always enjoy playing it. So I honestly haven't played that much this year.
Yeah,
We haven't played them.
Honestly, I don't. Any of us really played that many. Actually, I played a lot of games. It's weird. I bought more games and I've probably played more games this year than I have before. But I also like didn't have as much time to play games this year, which is a weird like paradox, conundrum we find ourselves in.
Did you finish any games this year?
Yeah, I finished my number 1 game of the year and my number 2 to an extent.
Okay, well, my number 3 is gonna be the Pokemon DLC.
Crown Tundra.
Yeah, both of them. I just put them both into.
Oh yeah, Isle of Armor came out.
Yeah,
2020 also.
that's kind of why it's at. Isle of Armor came out. It was so good that we forgot about it.
Well, I just forgot that it was 2020. I mean, I was playing it around the same time as Ghost of Tsushima. It just slipped my mind that it came out last year too.
This year has been so long.
Yeah, 2020 was
2020.
What a strange year. It's a good
Just
year,
last
but
year.
just a strange year. Yeah. It's good and bad. Good for some, bad for others. Okay, yeah, so well my number 2, I'd really originally just put one of them, but I guess I'll put them both together. The Pokemon DLCs, Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra. Isle of Armor was really I liked the story a lot in Isle of Armor. But that was like the biggest chunk of that DLC was just the story, and it was very short. But I did really like it a lot. I really like Urshifu. I added him to my team for that DLC, and then in Crown Tundra too, I finished it with him on my team, that same team. Crown Tundra was a lot meatier. The story was a little weaker, but there was a lot more to do with like the Dynamax adventures and all the legendary quests, and then the Galarian Star Tournament, which I still haven't finished all the way yet. I haven't unlocked all the characters, but I love like battling. Obviously, that's the main point of Pokemon. I love that part. But so I really like the Galarian Star part. The Dynamax adventures were super fun. We would all get together and do the raids together, and go and collect legendaries, which we should do again sometime. But yeah, honestly, those 2 DLCs felt like half of a game, which paid $30 for them, so I would hope so. But yeah, it was all a lot of really good content that I wish was on the base game. At least Isle of Armor could have been base game. Post game, there really wasn't a post game in Sword and Shield. The post game was essentially like an hour-long story sequence, and then you could challenge the Elite Four again. But that was really all. That was it. If there is anything else, I don't remember it, which speaks to it. So, but yeah, the Pokemon DLCs were very good. I'm kind of bummed that it didn't come out in like a 3rd version. I just like the 3rd version package, getting a shiny new game with a bunch of new features. I get why they did DLC, but I do miss the 3rd versions because some of my favorite Pokemon games are 3rd versions. But yeah, so my number 2 pick of the year for game of the year, which is not really a games DLC, but that would be the Pokemon DLCs, Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra. Jeremy, what about you? What was your number 2 pick?
It's gonna be the same for me, Pokemon DLC. Just because, like I said earlier, I didn't play very many games, but of the games I played this year, I enjoyed probably the Isle of Armor DLC a lot. I just catching like you said, a lot of the stuff that was in this one could have been just like a post story in the base game, or like in a third game, where like kind of how they did it with like Emerald and stuff like that, but they did it the
Emerald
DLC
and
way.
Platinum.
So I think they were kind of just trying out the waters with this, just seeing if they're going to stick with the DLC route or go back to the third game kind of solution.
Yeah.
So, but
I think
enjoyed,
it did super well. So
it did very well. First one not so much, but like there wasn't much in the first one, but the second one it was just
it was received very well.
the way, yeah, just even the way they like changed raids. It's like
Oh yeah,
going back to the old version. You're like,
raids
how did
suck in the base game.
Yeah,
they're like you know the new ones. Like, oh, these are actually
Fun, yeah.
It's like, hey, you want? That was like the first thing I did was like, hey, you want to go do some raids and get some free legendaries?
Mm-hmm. I have like 3 of a lot of different legendaries now because of the raid.
How do you get 3?
Because I had them from previous games.
Oh.
All right, Parker, what was your number 2 pick?
My number 2 is the Destiny 2 Beyond Light, Dying Light DLC.
Yeah, there it is.
I know what your number one's gonna
Yeah, I mean we all do. It's already been spoiled.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah, the DLC. The only reason it's not number 1, even though it's by far my most played game this year, is the DLC itself wasn't like the best DLC ever. It was fun, and the stuff that came with it was fun, but I wouldn't say the stuff that was technically DLC content was like amazing.
Cool. All right. Well, now we're at our number 1 picks for Game of the Year. If you haven't guessed by now, you probably don't listen to the podcast that often. If you listened at all in 2020, you probably know what my Game of the Year is.
took them forever to finish.
It didn't take me for. I actually played through it pretty quickly. I think it.
I just every time you played, you streamed it, and I watched it like
Oh,
every
yeah.
time. It seemed like a long time for me.
I was not very good at it. I'll say it took me a while to figure out the game, although it is very fun. My Game of the Year was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Probably not the best game on my list in terms of like just overall like quality and stuff like that. I think technically the best game I played this year was Ghost of Tsushima, but Final Fantasy VII was just so freaking fun. I love FF7 characters and world and the music. Holy frick, the music in the game is so good. But the combat is probably the most fun, most dynamic like combat I think I've ever like played in a game. Materia system and like the different characters and their different abilities and combos, and like Cloud, how he switches stances, and like oh my gosh, Tifa is so fun to play in that game because she's literally just a fighting game character. You just combo these crazy special moves together. Oh my god, it's just so fun, and the story is great because it's like FF7, but it's not FF7. There's some new stuff, and I won't spoil anything. But yeah, the game I had the most fun playing this year. I enjoyed it the most. That's why it's my number 1. And obviously it has its flaws. The level design is kind of bad. It's probably the worst part of the game. But literally just the experience overall was so much fun. I might replay it. I don't really replay games that often, but this is a game that I might replay it like before the next one comes out, part 2. But yeah, very fun game. So my number 1 pick, my Game of the Year for 2020 is Final Fantasy VII Remake. What about you, Jeremy? What is your Game of the Year for 2020?
If I'm being honest, I didn't play very much at all in 2020. So stuff that came out in 2020 was very lacking. As of the way you can tell, I all the games up until then have been games I either DLCs or expansions, or I barely played.
Mm-hmm.
And so my game of the year is gonna be the Destiny 2, just because the new DLC came out and I really enjoyed it. There was definitely hasn't been a lot of content after finishing the campaign and all that kind of stuff. It's one of the things, but it, we're in a pandemic, so I kind of understand. I'm just hoping that next season, when they add some more stuff for us to do, because I enjoy the game and I want to play it, and so it's been very fun. So, of my game of the year that came out in 2020 is Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
All right. Cool. All right, Parker. What is your game of the year for 2020?
All right. Well, as it's been said already,
Super Smash Brothers Melee!
Ultra. It's a new game. This is the announcement trailer.
Super Smash Brothers Ultra.
Yeah. Where do you go after Ultimate?
I don't know. You make it a 3v3 tag fighter in the style of Marvel vs. Capcom or Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
For a Nintendo game?
Yeah, that would be
I want realistic
sick.
Mario.
Oh, I'd play that in a heartbeat. A 3v3 fighter with Nintendo characters or just video game characters. Heck yeah. Or you just bare bones it, go back to the original 12. And that's the new Smash Brothers. Yeah, because there's like 80 something characters in the game, like 84 characters in the game right now, and we still have 2 more.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, and they had a hard enough time getting Cloud back for Ultimate. Like, I don't know how they're gonna if there was a Smash Ultimate 2 and its base game had 90 characters. What do you have after DLC? There's like 120 characters, like, or 110 characters. That'd be insane.
You'd have to remove.
It's literally just a fan game. It's Mugen, if you know what that is. It's just Mugen. It's a fan game.
I know. What is it?
Essentially, you know, like Super Smash Flash.
Oh yeah.
So it's like that, but like every fighting game character that's a sprite is in it. So, or like people will make, like, there's every like fighting game character, like classic like sprite characters like Ryu, Ken, Terry, all those. But then also like they'll make sprites of like Mortal Kombat characters and they're in it. Then they'll put like all the Marvel characters from Marvel vs. Capcom, and they'll put like Superman, and then they'll put like the Ninja Turtles, and then they'll put like Goku and Ichigo and Naruto and like all these. It's just every character you could ever think of in one big fighting game. That's a fan-made game.
Is it like a fan-made game?
Yeah, it's fan-made. That's what Mugen is, though. But anyways, Parker, what's your game of the year? As you have like a light show going on.
My favorite game of 2020 is easily Polybridge 2.
For those of
How many hours do you have?
for those in the audience that don't know,
okay, I
what
looked
Polybridge
and I only
2
have
is.
60 hours.
What is Polybridge 2? For those that don't know,
It's a bridge building game. It's like a puzzle game. That's it.
why is it your
Like,
why was it your game of the year?
Because I really enjoyed it, and that's pretty much all I played towards the end of the year for like 2 months. It's just a really fun game, and yeah, Jeremy watched me stream it a few times.
I think I watched you once. Once you play it once.
I got really into watching a bunch of YouTubers who stream it, or Twitch streamers who stream it, and YouTubers who post videos.
You still play it?
Yeah, I still play it every once in a while. I've gotten to the point where everything is really hard. And I've beaten the entire base game, but I haven't beaten any of the like DLC or finished any of the free DLC maps. Fun game. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Cool. All right. Well, now we'll talk about our top 5 movies / TV shows that came out this year. Or last year, sorry, 2020. My number 5 pick for movies and TV shows 2020 was the last movie I saw in theaters in 2020. And that was Sonic the Hedgehog.
You saw Tenet.
Oh,
Did you see?
that's true. It was the last movie I saw in theaters until Tenet came out. Forgot I saw it in theaters. But Sonic the Hedgehog, it's fun. It's okay. Not a great movie. I enjoyed it though. I am actually excited for the sequel because I think they set up enough in the first one to where the second one can be more like video gamey. This one felt really like they had to do certain things because, you know, not everyone's familiar with the character. They have to set things up, stuff like that. But what they set up in the second movie, I think, will lead to making fans a lot more happy. Not that they were unhappy with Sonic movie. But yeah, it was the last movie I saw in theaters for a long time in 2020. I saw it, I think, a couple days after it came out. It was like February 17th or something like that. Yeah, I enjoyed it. But that was the last taste I had of theaters for a long time. So that was my number 5 pick. Let's go the other way around. Parker, what was your 5th pick for movies, TV in 2020?
Okay, so for stuff that came out this year, and specifically this year, last year, I have like nothing because I went through many lists and I thought I could think of 2 that of new things that came out last year because nothing came out that I enjoyed. So it would have to be Mando season 2.
That's your number 5?
That's gonna be number 5, 4, 3, and 2.
All the episodes.
Yep. In order, it would go. Okay, it would go. Oh, crap. The third from last episode at 5. The Ahsoka episode at 4.
The Boba Fett episode is 5. Right?
Yes. Yeah. That would be 5. Ahsoka episode at 4. Finale at 3, and then the one before the finale at 2.
Such a good episode.
All right. Yeah, the second to last episode is very good. Okay. Jeremy, what's your number 4 or your 5 pick? Sorry, what's your number 5 pick?
My number 5 is gonna be Tenet.
Tenet.
Really enjoyed it. It was definitely one of those movies where it was. I almost feel like it was too high concept. Like it, no matter like how hard you try.
At some points, yeah.
At some points, it's just like I saw it a second time, and there's still some points where I was like, oh, okay, I'm still a little. It was just.
I understood it a lot more the second time, but it didn't make me enjoy it any more or any less.
I think I enjoyed it because there was definitely some stuff I like picked up on that like they. Use that.
I still enjoyed it, but upon the second viewing, I didn't like it more.
I'd say I liked it a little bit more, just because I went and saw it with a couple people, and then I went and saw it with the same people again with a couple more people, and there was some stuff like that I just missed the first time, and I still thought it was a good movie, but the second time I was like, oh, that just makes the movie even better, and so I thought it was good. You haven't even seen it, have you? No, you just saw it.
I've seen it twice.
We didn't see it in 2024.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I did. We watched it.
We watched it the last possible second in 2020.
The last couple hours of 20.
Yeah, that's true. We watched it. Okay, my number 4 pick is a movie. This was just at the start of quarantine is when this came out, and I actually watched this with a friend. We were both in Discord and we synced it together and we were watching it at the same time. It was Onward. It was good. I like it. I feel like a lot of Pixar's movies nowadays are very samey. They hit the same beats, and you go in and you, even though you don't know what's gonna happen, you can put two and two together pretty easily. Onward, it did switch it up at the end. It did catch me, but I mean, the closer you get to it, you're like, oh, okay, I see where it's going now. But overall, I still really enjoyed it. Animation is really good. There's some really funny parts in it, and it's a tearjerker. It'll pull on your heartstrings if you're not prepared. But overall, I'd say there's it's lacking a little substance in some parts, but overall, honestly, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. It's one of those movies though where it's like, I don't know if I want to watch it again just because it's such a tearjerker. Like, I don't want to get him. I don't want to feel emotionally drawn in again. But yeah, Onward will be my number 4 pick. Parker, we already got your number 4 pick, so back to you, Jeremy. What's your number 4 pick?
Actually, my number 4 pick is the same as Onward. I saw that. I didn't see it. I think I watched it with my family. Like, probably, I don't even remember. It's been such a long year. I don't remember when I watched it. It could have been.
It was early. It was like
July.
March or something when it came out.
Yeah, and I watched it later. I watched it in probably July, maybe. I don't know, but it was good. Like you said, it was definitely Pixar. Has a lot of they use a lot
formula.
of same tropes.
Yeah,
it's the Pixar formula, and so it was a little different, but still, like you said, you can kind of see it coming, and yeah, what you said was exactly my thoughts on it. So there's not too much more to say.
I'll drink to that.
For
those of you listening to the podcast, I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm drinking Fiji water. My number 3 pick is not actually, wasn't a movie, and it's not really a TV show. It was more like a series of short documentaries. Like, it's a limited series. And that was The Last Dance, the 30 for 30 documentary about Michael Jordan and the Bulls and their last season together. I've never been like a huge NBA fan. I enjoy watching a game every now and then. I always watch the finals. My team has changed a lot in the past 10, 15 years. But after one, it's probably one of the best documentaries I've ever seen, just in terms of like production and quality. Amazing documentary, very interesting. A lot of stuff I didn't know. This was a lot of I didn't grow up in this. This all happened like right before, I guess, all of us were born. Some of the people listening are like, "Oh, you babies." Yes. But it is very, I mean, obviously I always grew up hearing about Michael Jordan and the Bulls. He's still like an icon today, Jordans and stuff. Always see people wearing the 23 jersey. And so getting to learn about what made him and the Bulls so great in that era and kind of see the rise and fall and all that stuff was really cool, really interesting. I learned a lot about basketball and watching it. Kind of piqued my interest in basketball to where a point where I paid attention a little more last year. Also just because it was such an interesting season because of pandemic. But yeah, honestly, I was watching it with my brother-in-law. It was like a weekly thing when it was coming out. I was like, oh, Last Dance episode tonight. Yeah, it's really good. Honestly, I don't like documentaries that much. They don't interest me. I find them boring a lot of the times. But this one is very good. Would highly recommend, even if you're not a basketball fan. It's very interesting just to kind of see something that just shaped culture so much, even to this day. And it's very well made. 30 for 30s are always great, but this one was really good. So yeah, my number 3 pick is The Last Dance.
What's yours, Parker? Number 3.
It would be Mango. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know if you heard that
yeah.
earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Mango.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Jeremy? What was your number 2 pick or 3 pick?
Number
Your
three.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Pick number
Last
3, my
Dance
lord.
Last Dance would have been on my list, but I actually didn't end up finishing it, so I didn't really want to put it on my list saying, hey, I watched it halfway. There were some other stuff that I did finish and enjoyed almost as much. So my number 3 is going to be Soul. Actually came out pretty recently, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's similar to Onward, where it's similar trope where, oh, hey, you got to teach me how to live. Oh, let's go through life. But I do, it kind of, in this one, I don't know, I'm trying to collect my thoughts. I watched it and I was so bad. All right, no, but it's definitely like the trope I was saying, because like he goes, do you want me to ruin it?
I probably won't watch
Spoiler?
it. I mean, say spoilers, but I don't really care. I probably won't watch
Okay,
it.
so like there's like the
Yeah,
one,
okay.
there's like he goes back, well, he dies, or he's like,
Boy, he dies in the trailer. That's not
doesn't,
that's
like-
a spoiler.
yeah, no, he doesn't, like, he's technically dead, but like his soul is like not fully there, so like, and he like panics, and so he goes and he gets the job of helping a soul find its purpose, which super cliche, but the way they go about it I felt was really cool, because pretty much the whole idea is there's this one soul who literally has been around forever but just doesn't want to get their purpose because they don't believe that life on earth is worth living. They would just rather remain just a soul. And so he has the task, and they literally talk about like all these famous people like Gandhi, Muhammad Ali, like all these people were her like mentor, but they couldn't get her to find her purpose, and she's just so stubborn. And it's literally just Jamie Foxx is like, okay, well, I'm gonna break the rules and we're gonna sneak into Earth so I can get you purpose and I can not die. It's like such a weird concept, but the way they go about it is pretty much like, there's pretty much like he's what is it, piano teacher, and so he like shows like this person like his love for jazz, and like I not a musical person, but I was like, oh, that seems kind of cool. So, and the animation style like was really cool.
I
in
will
some
say the
parts, so
animation is very good in that movie.
that was a very bad review of Soul.
All right. My number 2 pick was the second movie I saw in theaters in 2020. And that is Christopher Nolan's Tenet. This was like peak quarantine. I drove 3 hours to Yuma, Arizona to go watch this movie in theaters, and I'm glad I did. The first experience I got with this movie was in theaters. I'm a big advocate of the theater experience. I've said that multiple times on the show. Yeah, watching in theaters.
Was the sound mix better in
No.
theaters?
This is abysmal.
Just
It's terrible. I don't know why Christopher Nolan does that in his movies, but I feel like it's better in other movies. But it's, I don't know, it's weird that it's so. I mean, part of it is like it makes sense in context of the film. Like there's a scene where people are talking over each other and it's really hard to follow what's going on. But that adds to that scene. And then upon the second view, I mean, I understood it the first time, but it was like, you're just kind of asking questions. And then the second time I was like, okay, I understand. I know what's happening, so I can pick up on stuff a little bit easier. But, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Go watch my review on the channel if you haven't. My feelings have pretty much stayed the same. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked the concept a lot. I thought it had a lot of potential. I think the direction he went with it was, I mean, I can't like I don't know. I liked it. It's very smart. I just don't know if I like the execution of it all that much.
Like, yeah, honestly, my biggest gripe was it with like the main character's performance. Like, I don't know if it was just me, but
Really?
I felt like he was so bad
I like
compared to like the other.
I like him a lot. I think it's the character because he's almost he's not in his element at all for the most of the movie. He's
I just feel
like
the but it's supposed to be his element. Like he's this top spy, and he's like in
but
all
yeah,
these
well, yeah,
situations
that's
where-
I mean that's the paradox is that
But it's
he's
just
this elite CIA agent, and then he gets thrust into this world where he has no idea what he's doing, and he's kind of fumbling at first, but he
I just feel
figures
like
it out as he goes.
I feel like some of it was like he was supposed to portray this person who's out his element, but like I felt like he was acting. Like I could tell he was acting. Like with the other people in the movie, like Robert Pattinson, he was
He's great in that movie.
phenomenal.
Robert
It
Pattinson.
he was so good in that movie. Like I thought he was.
Yeah,
like,
no,
he
I
was the
think
character.
I like
But,
his character Neil in the movie more than I like the protagonist.
It's not even just the character.
But-
It's just like the way he like gave his lines felt like he was reading them off. I don't know if that was just like the feeling I got, but like yeah, and, like I don't know. That's just my gripe for the show.
But yeah, no, I like Tenet a lot. In my review, said it's Christopher Nolan's fourth best movie, and I still stick by that.
Wait, what are 2 and 3?
Interstellar, Dark Knight, Inception, Tenet.
All right.
Which all three of those are
Wait, you
great
think
movies. So,
Interstellar is better than Dark Knight?
yeah, I think I do. I like Interstellar a lot.
I need to rewatch Interstellar.
Yeah, that's my number 2 pick is Tenet. It's a good movie. Jeremy, what's your number 2 pick?
All right, so my number 2 pick is it's actually the second season of a show, but it's not the Mando. It's actually The Boys season 2.
Oh.
It was very good. It's Boys is pretty much like a show where there's superheroes in the world, but it's like a very I don't want to say like realistic take, but it's very like grounded. It's not like the superheroes going to save the day. It's like no, the superheroes are terrible people and they do terrible things, and the company they like represented by companies, and it kind of takes like a whole corporate approach to superheroes, which I really enjoy. And then that's just like the elements, and then there's some very good characters in the show, and just like the way they interact with each other is something I very much enjoyed. And the end to the first season is like one of the best endings to a show I have ever seen. And the second show I had a lot of hopes for, and I feel like it lived up to them, so that's why it's my number 2.
Cool. That's cool. I haven't watched The Boys. Parker, your number 2 was Mando. Second to last episode. The penultimate episode. Okay, so my number 1 movie / TV show to come out in 2020 is The Mandalorian
Quite boring.
season 2. Yeah, we just got copyright claimed for that.
Probably. That's pretty good.
Well, if that guy's playing that one other episode
we did do a review. I think that was the last episode we did, actually, was our review of season 2. We all really enjoyed it. It's so good. Such a big step up from season 1. Just the overall narrative that this season had, and there's a lot of fan service in this season, but it wasn't like shove it down your throat fan service. It felt very natural, and was very enjoyable. And then you got some really cool stuff in the last couple episodes. Like I said, the second to last episode is easily the best episode in the series, and it's the best episode in the series because it's so different from anything else Star Wars. But yeah, Mandalorian season 2 is great. I love the direction that they're going. I love how it ended. Excited for what we're gonna get in season 3, and even some of the other spin-off shows that Star Wars has announced that take place in this kind of region and area. So yeah, my top 10 movie/TV show of 2020 is Mandalorian, The Mandalorian season 2. What about you? I guess we're going back down the right way. So Parker, what would be your number 1 pick?
My number 1 is Tenet. For all the reasons everyone has already said. I just really enjoyed it. I'm glad they took that concept and tried to put it into an action movie, although I think I think it would have been best as like a series, honestly.
A series?
Instead
Yeah, I
of
could see it being a series.
Instead of trying to shove everything into a movie, because there's a lot of parts where they had to like. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that didn't need to skip if it was a series. Like,
yeah,
you kind of like you go from one scene to the next, and it's like, okay, we just got done doing this step, and now I'm in a suit and I'm halfway across the world.
Yeah,
and I think that worked for the movie, but the movie was like 2.5 hours already, so
it's a long movie.
I definitely felt like the edit for that movie kind of hindered, but also helped it. Like, it's such like a high concept that like if they would have edited it any differently, they could have totally messed it up. But it was just so out there that I was like, no matter how much editing you put into that, there's going to be some part that confuses you.
Yeah, I really loved everything that was backwards.
Yeah, something
so cool.
I didn't notice the first time. Someone pointed it out to me, but I listened for it the second time, and it's true. Is in certain scenes when they're going backwards, the score is reversed. So the first time that he goes backwards, where he walks out of the shipping container place, the score is reversed. So like the car chase scene, and then in the final battle, every time someone's going backwards, the score is reversed. And it's so subtle that you're like, you don't notice it because it still sounds normal. But then if you're like listening, you're like, wait, that's backwards. So that was cool. And there's some other stuff I noticed. I didn't notice the first time, but I was told. And I was like, oh, dang, I wish I would have noticed. I would have enjoyed that more. And then I noticed it the second time, and I was like, oh, yep, okay. That makes sense. So, cool. And then, Jeremy, what was your number 1 movie/TV show of 2020?
Not to say, like, toot our own horn again, but Mandalorian season 2, it was just so good. Such like it's everything I want Star Wars to be, and I enjoyed the first season, but there's definitely some stuff I thought wasn't executed like the best, just because it felt like an overarching story. But this was everything I wanted it to be, and a little bit more. I think the best thing they did best and the most underrated part was the fan service was fit in perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, hey, here's this element the fans want so much, let's just cram it in because we know fans will like it. It's, hey, let's incorporate it into the story, and because it's part of the story. So, and they kind of used their past to make the story better. So I really enjoyed it.
Really good. So that's basically it. This whole episode has been what we've been doing, right, for the past year. So we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what we're looking forward to coming in 2021. I'll start us off. One thing I'm super looking forward to, the final season of Attack on Titan is currently ongoing. But after this last episode, as of January 12th, was like, holy crap. It's like a big cliffhanger episode. You're like, oh snap, stuff's getting real now. So I'm super looking forward to that. My Hero season 5, I think, is what we're on. Comes out
at the end of the year, right?
No, it's in spring.
It comes out in March.
It's in March.
Wait, really?
So that's coming out soon. Super excited for that. I love My Hero is one of my favorite shows to come out in like the past 10 years. I'm super excited for that.
So,
Yeah, it's just
did
like
that come
everything
out
I love.
in 2020?
What? Oh, My Hero.
My Hero.
One of the seasons
Did it
did, huh?
come
Season
out?
four.
Yeah, dude.
Over that season wasn't my favorite out of the seasons
Good
though.
start.
It was good, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
that one
wasn't one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree.
It had its moments, but overall, I think some of the other seasons are better. What else am I looking forward to? Dang, I had like stuff that I was thinking about. Oh, WandaVision, gonna start this week.
Oh, that looks
All of the Marvel shows coming out this year. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Super looking forward to. Loki, I think, is coming out this year too, like the end of the year. Dune, all the movies that are supposed to come out in 2020 coming out this year. So I'm super looking forward to Dune. No Time to Die. What other movies are coming out this year? I feel like are we getting a Marvel movie this year? I don't know. We might be. Is there anything else
I
I'm
don't
looking
know.
forward to in
After
2021?
Disney announced they're making 50 new Star Wars shows, I kind of just lost track of it.
Black Widow's coming out in May.
Oh, I completely forgot about Black Widow. Yeah, Black Widow. Okay.
Also, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Okay. Yeah, Shang-Chi's this year. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
It's
As of right now, that's what I can really think of. That I'm excited for in 2021. Jeremy, what are you looking forward to in 2021?
well, I knew there was going to be a lot of stuff that I was excited for, so I just looked up most anticipated movies in 2021, and like over half of them I'm super excited for. Like Morbius, I think is going to be a really interesting one to look out for. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. No Time to Die, like you said, Quiet Place, new Black Widow, Shang-Chi. Actually, new Space Jam is supposed to come out in
Space
July.
Forgot about that.
Apparently.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron James is going to be in it.
LeBron
Mhm.
James.
The new Suicide Squad,
Oh yeah.
Dune,
I'm so excited for that movie.
Eternals is end of the year.
There's a Mortal Kombat movie coming out.
Yep. It's rated R.
The Spider-Man sequel is supposed to come out in November. I didn't know it was coming out that soon.
Oh, Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, it comes out. It's expected November 5th, but that is subject to change.
It's not gonna come out for my birthday. Why?
So, and like you're talking about, Attack on Titan, My Hero.
My
there's a lot
Hero.
of stuff. New Mando is coming out this year, so I think that's gonna be something to look forward to.
I need to buy a Darksaber.
How much are they?
It's like
Why am I so bright?
180, I think. Probably because you have a white screen on. I
Yeah,
think it's
but
like 180.
adjust.
You look a lot like Robin Thicke. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but you do.
Robin Thicke.
The guy who sings Blurred Lines.
I think it's literally just because I have the haircut right now.
No, your face is very similar. He has dimples too.
Wait, how do you get a Darksaber?
I think Hasbro's selling them. It's like a Legacy FX saber. What else are you looking to forward to in 2021, Parker?
Pretty much, you guys said like everything. I guess Kong versus Godzilla. I'll watch just because I like.
I forgot
King
about
Kong.
that. Oh,
comes
I'm sad though. That's gonna be the last legendary Godzilla movie. I really like him.
Ever?
I mean, for now, of this trilogy, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know if they're gonna do more. I think they said that was the last one.
Yeah, I just really like Kong, so I'll watch that. Witcher season 2 is coming out. probably watch that, and then everything else you guys said.
Oh, I talked about it when it first came out. The Netflix Transformers trilogy. First one was okay. I just finished the second one, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and I was like, oh. The second one is a lot better, just because like I feel like the overall like voice acting and stuff, which was one of my big gripes for the first season, was improved a lot in the second season, and I feel like the story was a lot better just because there was set up in the first season, so the second season kind of paid off, and it ends on a cliffhanger. So I'm like, what? Like I want the third season right now. So I'm looking forward to that whenever that does come out. But I think that's the show. Kind of a longer episode this week. It's also kind of late. I'm tired. But yeah, that's the show. So thank you so much for watching or listening. We hope you find time out of your busy schedule to come back and listen to us next week. But come on, we all know you've got nothing better to do. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anywhere else where you find podcasts, make sure to leave a review and tell a friend. It really helps us out. And we will see you all in the next one. Peace out.